One of the absolute proven ways to build generational wealth in the US is through real estate. Not only that, the entire tax code is actually written partly for real estate investors, guys, because of all the tax advantages you can get just for owning rental properties in the US. Guys, I own 22 rental properties, and today's video I'll show you exactly how you can buy your first rental in 2025 with as little as 3.5% down. And if you're in the military, actually you can put zero down. And at the end of this video, I'll also show, for those that have really bad credit and no income whatsoever, how you can buy properties with zero money out of pocket, guys. So let's dive deep into it. So guys, what is the first step if you're looking to buy your first rental? The first step is always thinking about your down payment. Any lender will always ask you 15 to 20% down payment before you can buy a property, and that's when you're trying to buy your first rental and you're buying it as an investment property. So that means you're not going to occupy the property. Now, obviously 15 to 20% down payment on the purchase price can be substantially expensive as a down payment for most people. Most people don't have those savings, right? So you either want to consider first saving up the money, or use things like no DAC loans with the banks at 0%, where you can secure financing through an LLC, and then you can use those funds and use it as your down payment. Now you have to think about, how can I pay it, obviously, before the interest rate kicks in, because typically you have 0% only for 12 months. The alternative would be going the route of getting loans like FHA, for example. You can put 3.5% down, guys, on the duplex, right, where you're going to live in one unit and then rent the other unit. You can buy a triplex, you can buy a fourplex. Up to 4 units in the US, guys, is considered a residential. So you can go the route of getting financing through FHA. Now, even with FHA, you still have to bring 3.5% down. So step number 2 here would be what? Step number 2 would be working on your credit. Credit is the absolute key to unlock all these different financing. Without credit, the higher your credit score, right, 700 plus, the lower your interest rate. And even when you do the math on the long term, when you own a rental property, the interest that you pay, a person with bad credit would always end up paying way more for the property than someone with great credit score. So if your credit is bad, or you have low credit score, or your profile is not solid, the first thing you may want to do is to clean up your credit and your credit profile first before you even go apply for this type of financing. But yes, guys, with FHA, for example, if you've worked in the US for 2 years plus and you have 2 years tax returns, if you filed taxes and you have 2 years of tax returns, you can qualify to buy this properties with 3.5% down. And the way you qualify for it is because you're going to live in one unit. You're going to tell them that you're going to be living in this property. That's the caveat. So you're going to occupy one unit, rent the other unit. If you're buying a duplex, if you're buying a triplex, you occupy one, you rent the other 2. If you're buying a fourplex, you occupy 1 and you rent the other 3. Now, obviously, the more unit to buy, the more money is going to cost, so the higher your down payment will be. So the first thing, like the foundation, would be you have to really consider how much savings do you have, and should you maybe focus on working on saving money for your down payment. And not only that, one thing you have to keep in mind, when you have tenant, guys, one thing you do have is expenses, right? You have expenses like toilet leaks. You have potentially some tenants that might stop paying the rent. So buying a rental property comes with a lot of financial responsibilities. So you may want to avoid buying a rental property if you don't have cash stacks on the side, right? Not just for your down payment, but maybe even because some of these lenders, they will require reserves after your down payment. They want to see some reserves in case, obviously, a tenant stops paying. They want to make sure you can cover the mortgage while you're still looking for another tenant to move into the unit. But again, the reason you may want to consider starting with a multifamily like a duplex, triplex, or fourplex is because, guys, the units that you're not going to live in, they will take about 75% of that rental income and add it on your salary to qualify you to buy this property. So it makes it even way simpler and easier to qualify for a multifamily unit than to buy a single family. The reason why is because your income goes significantly higher because they're adding 75% of your yearly rental income on your salary to qualify you. So number one, we talk about down payment. Number two, you're talking about your credit. Your credit will be everything. And then three, what you need is 2 years of tax returns before you can qualify for this. Now, number four, what you want to do now is to go to the lenders and do what we call the pre-approval process. The pre-approval process is you just calling maybe the banks that you already have relationships with, you've had an account with them for a long time, and ask them, hey, based on my tax returns and based on my current credit and based on my current income, how much can I qualify for to buy a duplex or a triplex or a fourplex? And if the lenders tell you, now here guys, you don't want them to run your credit, because if they start running your credit, what's going to happen is that is going to lower your credit score. It's going to affect your credit negatively. That's not what you want. You want to tell them, I'm not giving you authorization to run my credit. I just want you to give me a pre-approval based on what I'm telling you verbally on the phone. Here is what my credit score is. Here is what my income is. Here is my tax returns. Please, can you tell me what potentially I can qualify for? Now, this will help you know exactly also, right, what budget you have to stick in. What budget you have to work with, right? If this says $500,000, it makes it easy for your research. Now, you know, when you're searching for your duplex, triplex, or fourplex, you have a budget of $500,000. You cannot go above that, right? So you want to get that pre-qualification. Very important. Step number 5, your realtor, your real estate agent, guys, is going to be absolutely key. Who is going to help you find this duplex, triplex, or fourplex? Is the real estate agent. So you want to make sure that you find online, you use sites like Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com. You find realtors that actually are used to working with investors that do buy multifamily and are able to help you go find these properties on the market. So you want to make sure when you're talking to them, the first question you ask them is, have you ever worked with somebody that was looking to do a house hacking strategy? That's what that's called. When you live in one unit, rent the other units, is called house hacking. So you want to find a great real estate agent that understand the market, understand the rental income in those markets. And then the other thing that might be super familiar with the market in terms of the zip codes where you need to buy, because like location, I'm sure you've heard this phrase before. When it comes to real estate, location is everything. If you are going to have a rental property, you want to make sure your property is in the absolute best locations you can. So best schools, right? Best hospitals, safest neighborhoods, right? This will give your property the ability to even appreciate way faster when it comes to value. So your real estate agent is going to be key, and you want to make sure you're working with a competent real estate agent. Now, obviously, when you find the real estate agent, now it's time to go on the market, identify a property, and then you want to underwrite these properties. Why do you want to underwrite these properties? That would probably be step number 5. You want to underwrite the properties to make sure that the terms, the initial terms that the lender gave you, saying, hey, we're going to lend you X and your monthly payment will be X and your interest rate will be X. If, for example, let's say your monthly payments will be $2,000, you want to make sure that these units will bring you at least $2,800, $3,000 to $3,500 per month, right? You want to make sure your rental income is positive, and so you're generating positive cash flow above your expenses on a monthly basis. Which, and by the way, guys, you want to take into consideration your expenses is not just the mortgage. You have taxes, you have insurance, right? Depending the location where you buy it, you have upkeep for the property. So you want to make sure you're positive. So this is where underwriting comes into play. You can use the same sites, Zillow, Redfin. All these sites will tell you what is the rental rates in the area where you're trying to buy these properties. You can go do rent comparables and see, okay, based on the unit that I'm buying and the units that have rented recently that looks like mine in this area are renting for X, and based on the terms that I'm getting from my lender, am I positive or negative? So you want to make sure you're not buying these properties emotionally, because you will definitely end up regretting the decision if you make these decisions emotionally. So guys, in real estate, don't force the math. Either the numbers work or they absolutely don't. right? So once you identify the property, you underwrite and you find out that you're positive, and if you take this loan, you're able not only to cover the loan but your positive cash flow, then you're good to go. Now we're talking about execution, right? Now we're talking about making the offer. So this is where your real estate agent steps in to help you make the offer. But guys, I want you to keep in mind, when you're working with real estate agent, it is not part of their training to negotiate. So everything is negotiable. It's not because the property is listed for $500,000 that means you cannot make an offer at $450,000. You never know. The seller that is selling that property might be motivated for whatever reason. So always tell your real estate agent, hey, can we try to offer a little bit lower than what they have it listed for? If it works, it doesn't mean it's going to work, but everything is negotiable. So always try to get a discount. Remember, you're thinking as an investor now. You're not just thinking as a home buyer who's buying the property to live in. And guys, the caveat is, if you buy these properties with FHA 3.5% down, they only require you to live in these properties for 12 months. So after 12 months, you can actually vacate the unit where you live in and then increase your cash flow by renting that unit that you were occupying, right? So 1 year sacrifice to get a great foundation for your rental portfolio is absolutely not big of a sacrifice. But you want to make sure you're working with a competent real estate agent that can negotiate these some of these units at a discount. And then another thing you want to keep in mind, if you absolutely, especially when you're a newbie, you don't want to, when you identify the property, one of the things you want to do is inspections. You want to hire an inspector to go inspect the property and tell you if there is anything wrong with the property that you may want to have the owner that is selling it fix before you buy it. If you're taking a loan, a 30-year loan mortgage or a 15-year loan mortgage to buy a property as a newbie, you want to make sure you're buying a turnkey brand new property that where you're not going to deal with repair headaches for the next probably 7 to 10 years, so you can stack your cash every single month on the side and build what we call a great war chest in case there is a tenant that default and now you have to hire an attorney and start doing evictions, right? So guys, make sure you're working with a competent real estate agent, obviously, when you're doing this strategy. And last but not least, if you make the offer and the offer get accepted, now it's time to open escrow. This is where a lot of people get nervous, guys. But listen, if you're working with a great real estate agent, typically they always have title companies or title attorneys that they're used to working with, right? And they will make this process seamless for you. But this is where a lot of people make the mistakes of not reading their closing documents. I want you to pay close attention to all the documents you are signing at closing, especially the ALTA, because title companies and title attorneys make mistakes all the time. So you want your real estate agent to walk you through line by line your ALTA to see who's getting paid what is that fee, because this is your first school actually for your next 20 properties, guys, because all you're gonna do after this property is rent and repeat. So once you make your offer get accepted, now it's time to go and do the closing process. So when you open escrow, obviously make sure your down payment is ready, because the attorney, when they're done doing the title search, you have about 24 hours to wire those funds in. So make sure you're ready with your down payment before you even open escrow. But guys, the title company here is going to be absolutely key. So make sure you're working with a real estate agent that is super competent and already have those relationships with title companies or title attorneys, depending if you're in a title attorney state or a title company state. And once everything is done, guys, and you get your key, now it's time to list your property ASAP with a sense of emergency, You want to list it ASAP and find tenants. You can use sites like Zillow. You can use the same realtor that helped you close on that property to help you find tenants, do the background checks. Make sure you set up your first rental professional leases, background checks. Don't get too complacent and get every kind of tenants into your unit. You will regret it the day they stop paying, because most of these tenants will come and give you sweet stories, get into your property and stop paying 3 months afterwards. So you want to make sure you set this up right professionally. So for those that don't have credit at all and you don't have income, by the way, guys, you can use strategies like subject tools, owner finance, lease options. I have a whole playlist where I explain how you can buy properties with no money down whatsoever. If you're able to find distressed homeowners, negotiate with them directly and turn them into the bank, well, at that point you can buy properties where you don't need a credit, where you don't need your income, because obviously you're negotiating directly with the seller and you're turning that seller into the bank. So guys, make sure you check that playlist out, guys. And if you need credit repair services, if you need business 0% funding services, make sure you get in touch with my team. We'll help you with all of those things. We'll help repair your credit, get you ready for funding so you can go apply this strategy today. All right, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let me know in the comments if you're going to do this strategy this year. I'll see you guys on the next one. Boom, boom, boom.